From the city of brotherly love, Tom Hammond, Steve Jones, and Ahmad Rashad. Here are the starting lineups. For the Bulls in the backcourt, Paxson and Jordan for the 6th straight year leading the NBA in scoring. The forwards, Pippen and Grant. And the center for Chicago, 7-foot veteran Bill Cartwright. Chicago, coached by Phil Jackson, one of 9 to win an NBA championship as a coach and a player. Starting lineup for the 76ers goes this way. In the backcourt, Johnny Dawkins, bothered by a bruised knuckle on his shooting hand, and Hersey Hawkins. The forwards, leading scorer Charles Barkley and Arvin Gilliam. And the center, after being out of basketball for 5 years, back in the Sixers starting lineup, Jeff Ruland. And Jim Lynam is the head coach of the 76ers, who took them to the Atlantic Division Championship in 1990. Scottie Pippen, who has reached superstar status himself in this, his 5th year in the NBA. And there are the two principals, Charles and Michael.
Ruland is only going to play about 6 or 7 minutes at a time, so they would like to get him off to a very good start early in the ball game, and he likes to play an intimidating, bruising type of game.
Cartwright against Gilliam, and the Bulls control the opening tap. Pippen being guarded by Charles Barkley. Hersey Hawkins has the assignment on Jordan. Cartwright. And Barkley with the first rebound of the game. Pippen is matched up against Barkley on the defensive end for Chicago.
This is a guy they like to get started. Hersey Hawkins. They want him to challenge.
Hawkins baseline for the slam, and the Sixers score first. Grant penetrates back to Pippen. And Ruland went for the head fake and fouled Bill Cartwright.
If you have tracked the Chicago Bulls, you'll know that in every game that they play and start, the first 2 or 3 plays go to Bill Cartwright. They want to try to get him involved in the ball game early. First time he misses. The second time he gets Ruland off of his feet and draws a foul and has a chance for free throws.
Cartwright, the 13-year veteran out of San Francisco, misses on the first. Steve, here's how Bill's points and rebounds have steadily declined in the last 4 years.
Well, that's probably a reason that they want to get him involved in the game earlier. He used to be a very dominant offensive player early in his career with the New York Knicks, and was more of a focal point of the Chicago Bulls offense when they first got him. And he hasn't had a chance to really do what he does best, which is score the ball. Looking for Hawkins.
Same place he had it a minute ago to Gilliam against Grant. Works his way in. Grant got a piece of it. Michael the other way for Chicago. Again, Cartwright trying to post up. Cross court to Pippen. Beautiful move by Pippen. Reverses it through. And Chicago has its first lead. Barkley got around Pippen. Couldn't hit it. The ball almost stuck. Here's Paxson. Pippen pulls up.
What they want to see from Pippen is that, how he's going to shoot that jump shot. If he's going to miss, they're going to play off of him so they can keep him from penetrating.
Michael's first attempt of the game. Spun around Dawkins to lay it in.
You see Barkley trying to use his strength right now against Pippen, gets deep down in the hole, gets a foul from Cartwright. And this is a real tough matchup for Pippen if he's able to do this. But let's go back to Scottie Pippen on the other side, and you'll see this is where Pippen is most dangerous, when he can penetrate and either make the shot or create. Now, when Barkley's down in this position, Scottie Pippen has to have help. Cartwright's there too late.
Cartwright's help results in the first Chicago foul and sends Sir Charles to the free throw line. The oft-quoted Sir Charles Barkley. Had a recent article about him in the Sporting News. There's one this week about him in Sports Illustrated. You can get by the swimsuits.
You know what Charles' biggest complaint is that he's playing on a team and he feels that management has not done enough to make this team competitive and is asking him to carry too much of a load, which is true.
And Barkley Sixers within a point. Pippen left wide open. Can't hit it. Rulin fighting with Barkley. Luckily for the Sixers, it's picked up by Dawkins. Dawkins has been in a real shooting slump, perhaps partly because of that bruised knuckle.
Barkley's looking just to power his way down in. He wants to go as deep as he can, make something happen. He found Rulin, but Rulin had stepped out of bounds.
So the Sixers turn it over as Barkley passed out of a double team. But Rulin couldn't handle it. Chicago leading by 1. Just over 9 minutes remaining in the opening quarter from the Spectrum. Pippen against Barkley. Jordan. And Rulin. Good position for the rebound. Rulin setting a high screen. Now will go.
They're trying to get Hawkins free. Jordan denies him the spot that he wants.
Dawkins, they'll leave him open, and he makes them pay. Maybe that'll break him out of that shooting slump. Johnny Dawkins with his first hoop. Teams have been leaving him wide open in recent games.
Now, they had the neck injury, which also resulted in a hand injury as well as Jordan misses, and the hand injury has been bothersome in his shooting stroke. They worked extra yesterday. We'll see if any of that comes to any fruition and any good today.
Here's the index knuckle on his shooting hand, Dawkins. Ball away, Jordan got it. From the baseline, Michael Jordan's second basket. Chicago back on top.
And that's the reason that they want Hersey Hawkins to be aggressive at the offensive end. He's got to give some offensive presence to neutralize what Jordan does this afternoon.
Hawkins with a good dish to Barkley for the easy one. Charles has 4. And the Sixers back on top. Cartwright attempted to go inside the Grant and hit the backboard. Hawkins for 3. Got it. Biggest lead for Philadelphia, and Chicago will call a timeout. Good shooting by the 76ers, and Philadelphia leading Chicago 11-7 after this three-point shot by Hersey Hawkins. Charles and the 76ers leading Chicago. And, of course, Philadelphia, a place where the Chicago Bulls have struggled in Michael Jordan's career. Earlier today, we asked Michael why.
It's like a playoff game for them. If they're playing bad up until this point, they find a way to come out and play well against us. So that's something that we have to take into account for today's game. And even though they hadn't really been playing the type of basketball that they want to play, this team is not going to fall asleep. They're not going to come in here and expect us to blow them out by 20 or 30 points. They're going to come in ready to play.
And they are ready to play with the lead right now as a foul underneath as Cartwright goes up.
They thought they had a chance to make a steal, and that is what got Bill Cartwright in this position. Johnny Dawkins reaches in, trying to rip his arms away from the ball. Cartwright back on the line. The pace and tempo of the game right now is right where Philadelphia wants it. Keep Chicago out of the open court. Don't allow Jordan and Pippen to play above the rim. And at the same time, they're able to put their bodies on them, maybe wear them down a little bit.
And the Sixer half-court attack has been effective, hitting 4 of their first 6 shots. Cartwright 1 for 2 at the line, and Rulin has another rebound.
Dawkins has the kind of quickness to create some penetration, but he really hasn't shown that all season long. Still coming back from that anterior cruciate ligament surgery a year ago.
Barkley lost it. Here's Jordan. Over Hawkins, off the glass. Michael Jordan now with 6 points. Chicago within 1. Barkley calling for it, posting up Pippen. He tries to power his way in.
What he wants to do is back him down, and he wants the double team to come. That's going to leave someone open. Gilliam a little bit too deep for him.
Just a step out of his range. Gilliam comes up short. Jordan draws the double team, spins away from Rulin. Hawkins came to help, couldn't get there, and Grant with an offensive board for Chicago.
You notice how far Barkley's playing off Pippen, inviting him to shoot the jump shot, but the penetration gives Horace Grant an easy 2.
Pippen with the penetration and the easy basket to give Chicago a 1-point edge. Hawkins off a screen. Out of bounds to Philadelphia, off the hand of Pippen.
Whenever Pippen can penetrate, he can make some good things happen. Initially, it looks like he didn't know what was going to be available for him, but that's the good thing about being able to jump up in the air and stay there for a while. You can create.
Hawkins has his shot rejected, but Barkley powers it in. In the superstar battle, Barkley and Jordan 6 apiece. Michael dips and it's tapped in. Michael Jordan with 8 as he follows his own shot. Hodges conceding that long-range shot to Gilliam, not coming all the way out on him.
Now, what Pippen does better than probably any forward in the league is play his man tight. Barkley forced to shoot a jump shot.
Barkley with the ball away, and he has 8. Hodges left open. Pippen can't follow. And touched the ball in the cylinder. It'll be Philadelphia's ball.
What you have to do with Jordan after his penetration is try to get between him. You can see he created too much space there, and he was the only one in rebound position to tip that one back in.
Michael Jordan with 8 points and 4 rebounds in the early going. 4:48 left in the first quarter. Hawkins. Dawkins fires. Dawkins is 2 for 2. Maybe he can break out of his slump. That would be a big boost to the Sixers' attack. One of the problems Philadelphia has had is simply scoring points. 19th in the NBA in points. Pippen, another penetrating drive. And Shackelford just into the game commits his first foul.
If Thunder is giving this quick rabbit a problem at the other end, it is the quickness and the long strides that are creating problems for Barkley. You see him dance around him, able to get back again deep into the paint. This time he picks up the foul. Barkley's got to keep that penetration to a minimum, and that means he's got to stay off of him and make sure that the first shot that Pippen takes is a jumper.
Scottie Pippen has steadily progressed in his now 5-year career, and really, Steve, is a superstar in his own right.
That is what makes the Chicago Bulls such a dominant force. They have 2 players as the Bulls pressure that can do similar things. They put the ball on the floor, they create plays for other people, and they can make sensational plays themselves.
Charles Shackelford into the game. Has been a disappointment this season since being signed after playing in Europe last year. But Jim Lynam was telling us in recent games he's been better, perhaps because Rulin starts and gives Shackelford a chance to be more focused coming off the bench.
Defensive pressure, and this is where the Bulls think that they can win any basketball game, is by tightening it up and forcing the team out of their comfort zone. That time they forced a turnover.
Barkley rebounds Paxson's miss. Barkley splits the double team and draws the foul.
Personal foul, Scottie Pippen. His first, the Bulls.
First foul on Pippen.